Welcome to episode 3 of Stream on the Edge, the show where we learn and explore all things live streaming and content creation related. Today is October 23rd, and I'm your host, Michael Feyrer Jr. On this week's show, I'll cover another epic plugin, show you how to easily add a countdown timer to your live stream, react to a stream doing a whole lot of educating, and so much more. I think you're going to get a lot out of this one, so let's get right to it with this week's news. There is a rather big piece of news it seems everyone is stressing about on YouTube this week, and that would be YouTube handles. They're basically another way to direct people to your YouTube channel that's really easy to use. So how it works is you're going to get an email from YouTube, and all you have to do is click the link in the email to reserve your handle. Now, if you do absolutely nothing, you're still going to be assigned a handle based on your channel name, and you can change it at any time. But if you want to make sure you claim yours and you didn't get an email, let me show you how you can do that. There's a link in the description for you to click if you want, or you can go to this page and you can click this link right here. Now that's going to take you to this page, assuming that you're logged into your Google account, where it will show you your handle based on your channel name that was already reserved for you. Now you can claim it or select a custom one and create your own. Once you do that, you're completely done. If you already had a custom channel URL, it will continue to work as well, so you don't lose that. And that's really all there is to the YouTube handle feature. Are you excited about YouTube handles? Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Let's get into the plugin of the week. I think you're really gonna love this one. This week I want to show you a fun little plugin that's really easy to install and use. It's going to allow you to add animation controlled by sound to any image or video asset on your stream, even your camera. So you know what? Let's get to it! Links are in the description to install this. It is really easy. So we're going to go up here to the top right and click on the download. And we're going to select the Windows zip file. There's also a zip file for Mac OS and Linux. Once that file is downloaded, we're going to go ahead into our downloads, right click on it and extract it. Then we'll go into our extracted folder and you're going to have a data and OBS plugins folder. Just select those and copy them. Then we need to go and find our OBS-Studio directory. More than likely, yours is going to be in C program files. And once you find that, you're going to actually see you have a data and an OBS plugins folder right in here. If you just right click on the OBS-Studio folder and paste, it will paste in the stuff that you just copied. And if you do not already have this installed, it won't give you any error messages. It will just copy it in there and you are good to go. So now we have scale to sound installed properly. This next one I'm going to show you is a really cool, fun trick. It's really easy to use. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to load in a music file. So we're going to click the plus. I'm going to go to media source and I'll just browse to a media source here. And it's just a song. I'm going to go ahead and loop that song and click OK. And you can see the music is playing right there. So all I have to do is I'm going to take my video capture device. I'm going to shrink it down here a little bit. Put it right there. Then I'm going to right click on my video capture device. And you can do this with any source. It could be a picture or whatever you want. And we're going to go to filters. And we're going to click the plus on effect filters. And we're going to go to scale to sound. Click OK. Now all we have to do is select the audio source. In this case it's media source. It's actually the audio that's playing our little song. We can add the audio threshold, so if we don't want it to play except for in really loud parts or whatever, we can add that in here. Or we can have it just so that's a higher threshold. You can move it down or up, however you want it. I like it to kind of beat back and forth, so that's cool. Your audio ceiling, which will adjust what volumes it's going to kind of come on in. As you can see right there. We're going to just leave that all the way up. We've got our minimum size, which we can shrink down like this. We'll get a lot more motion out of it. The maximum size, needless to say, we can shrink that down as well. So this controls how much movement you're actually going to get from it. And just to make this easier to visualize, let's go ahead and select this audio source. So you can see when I don't talk, it doesn't move. Now it's going totally off my voice. So if we adjust the minimum size up a little bit, we can just get a little bit of a kind of a bump. If we adjust it down, well, it kind of goes crazy. So this could be as annoying as you want it to be or as subtle as you want it to be. You can do inverse scaling. We can smooth it out so it's not quite as bumpy. It kind of slows it down a little bit. That way, if you turn down the minimum size, you kind of get a gradual thing. You can have it scale to width or height. So we can have it just so it's doing only the height. So it'll just go up and down for the height. Or we can have it so it'll only bump with the width like that. Pretty cool. And you can have the positional alignment. So if you wanted it aligned to the left, there we go. So now it's going to always bump from that side. It's pretty cool. There's so much that you can do with this. You can set it up to any video source or an image or any kind of visual source you can set it up to, and any audio source you can easily set it up to. And there's so many cool little features, and it's so easy to set up, and it can just add just a little bit of motion to your live stream. You can make it really subtle, or you can make it really bouncy and use it for any source that you want. I think it's kind of cool and a lot of fun to play around with. So check it out. What an absolutely awesome plugin. It's time for us to learn a little something about getting more views on YouTube. So let's move on. Today on YouTube Elevated, I want to talk about the second most important piece of any video or live stream if you want to get views. Now, the first most important thing is the thumbnail. It's the first thing anyone sees related to the video. But a very close second is the title. Now, I know you might be thinking it's the video or the stream, but it's not. If no one clicks on the video or stream, who's ever even gonna know if it's any good? That's why the first thing you have to do is entice someone to click on it. Now, I like to grab the attention with an interesting thumbnail and hook them with the title. But I'm by no means an expert at it, I can tell you that. In fact, I'm constantly trying new things to see what gets the clicks. Now, a couple of good tactics I've found are simple to implement. The first one is to challenge the viewer. Titles like "You're Wrong About" or "Don't Do This" are really good examples. And the second type is listicles. That's titles like "The 5 Best" or "7 New." Those are good examples. And those are just two strategies that you can use to improve your titles. But the best way to find out what works in your genre is to look at other successful videos on the subject of your video and see what sort of titles they used. Now, I always do a search on the subject of my videos to see what comes up. You can also get great thumbnail ideas from doing this. Titles are not as easy as just throwing some keywords in, unfortunately. So take the time to put some thought into them, and you're gonna see the results pretty quickly. Now let's take a look at a live streamer who is also a great teacher, especially if you're in the YouTube space. This week's live stream is an every Saturday morning thing in the US time zone on YouTube. He dispenses YouTube growth information and answers questions live. It's Nick Nimmin I'm talking about, and there is a link to his channel if you want to check it out for yourself, and it's definitely helpful information. So you know what? Let's take a look.
What I want to do now, first off, I want to let you know, like as we're getting into the stream, if you haven't been here before, I answer the questions in the order that they are received. So what that means is I have a form that is down in the description of this stream right now where you can go down there, get your questions in the form so that we can go ahead and get them answered on the stream today. Okay, so if you got a question, make sure you get it in there so we can make sure that we get it answered on the stream today.
Okay, for those of you who have never seen Nick Nimmin before, he does YouTube growth content and he's really, really good at what he does. He is actually not using OBS. He's not using the big one in the room. He uses StreamYard. The reason why I wanted to kind of take a look at his stuff is because it shows that you can do a massive, massive live stream, which his live streams are very big, and use StreamYard and have it look professional and have it look awesome. So you could see that the camera flips from one to another to another. He has multiple cameras. They're obviously on some sort of a timer or rotation, which is obviously a thing that you can do in StreamYard. He also, just like my stream, has a form where people ask questions. He takes those questions in the order that they come in. So obviously using a form is a format I like. It means people aren't just asking random questions in the chat, then they get upset because their question got missed. Nope, you put it on the form, you make sure that you get those questions answered. It's a great way to run a live stream where you plan to answer questions. And setting up a form is really not that hard. If you want me to do a video about that, you should just let me know in the comments. But let's take a look at a little more.
So I just wanted to bring this to your attention because what I'm going to be talking about as I'm showing you some of this is about optimization. And this actually is one part of optimization. This particular thing has been there for a while. The stuff I'm getting ready to show you isn't, or hasn't, it's new. But this right here has been here for a while. But one thing that I do want to remind you of is even if you don't have anything in your channel art letting people know the value that you offer from your YouTube channel, there's going to be a lot more people hitting your YouTube channel because of YouTube Shorts and just the way they're structuring things on YouTube. So because of that, you want to make sure that you have this stuff updated. But you can see right here on mine, I added a little click for info with a little arrow going to the side. The reason for that is because this whole area here is clickable and this will send people to your About Me page. So I just wanted to make sure I bring that to your attention. But on the design side, you can see that YouTube is like rounding corners. We have a dark mode, which is pretty awesome.
Here you see another part of his stream where he brings up a tutorial screen and he's walking you through different aspects of YouTube. Obviously, this is a thing that you can do with browser-based live streaming tools as well. What I mean by that is Restream, Melon, or StreamYard, which is what he's using. I guess my point is to show you that if you are not doing like a heavy, intensive gaming stream, you can easily do a really professional stream with one of these browser-based things like StreamYard, which is what he's using. Now, I do a lot of videos on optimizing OBS, and Nick Nimmin does a lot of videos on optimizing the structure of your YouTube channel and your YouTube videos. There are a lot of similarities.
But our next question is from Taro, and they say that they upload every other day. They do entertainment content, and the goal of the channel says to make a living doing what I love. And the question is, your subscribers get notified of your first 3 uploads in a 24-hour period. When does that 24-hour period begin? At midnight Pacific or at the end of the last 3 videos. So it would be at the start of the first video. So, you know, like if you upload a video right now, then that would be notification number 1. And then you got 2 more within that 24-hour period.
So this is just a simple segment where he's answering questions. And I really do think that the camera switching angles on a relatively constant rotational basis is such an awesome way to continue to engage your audience. His cameras are just really nice. The lighting is perfect. Everything looks really good. He does a fantastic job of setting up this live stream so it looks really professional. Now, one of the things that I think sets Nick Nimmin apart from pretty much everyone else is that he feels so approachable. He's got charisma for days. He's just a really jovial, entertaining person. And it's fun to just listen to him talk. And he's so knowledgeable about YouTube growth stuff that, well, it's a fun live stream. If you haven't seen it, you should definitely check it out. I also have links to StreamYard, Restream, and Melon, the 3 browser-based applications that will basically give you the exact same type of stream that you're seeing him do. They're down in the description below. Now, if I had any complaints about his live stream, they do tend to be long. They can be, more than 3 hours. I don't personally like to do that, Basically 2 hours is about the limitations of my bladder to begin with. But the flip side to that is that he gets so many people on here and he wants to get through as many questions as possible. And the reality is that as long as your audience is excited and interested in asking questions, why not continue? This format is incredibly powerful for reaching your audience on a face-to-face level, answering their questions and interacting with them. His studio is set up to perfection, and I really do enjoy what he does. Definitely don't hesitate to check him out if you're looking for information on how to grow your YouTube channel. And you know what? Why not stop by one of his live streams? There are links in the description below. You will definitely learn a lot from these streams, for sure. Let's take a look at a tool that can help you create awesome intros and logos for your videos and live streams. Today's tool is a really awesome one. I use it to create all the intro videos, logos, my YouTube banner, and so much more. It's called Envato Placeit, and there is a link in the description if you want to check it out for yourself. Let me show you how easy it is to use. So here we are in Envato Placeit. You can see I'm logged into my account. If I go over here and select Placeit, it brings me into all the things that I've done. What I'm going to do is go to my folders, and I have a folder that I created for Stream on the Edge. And it's right here. This has all of the assets that I created for this actual show. And if we go in here, you can see what I did. I created a logo for each of the segments, in some cases more than one logo, and then I used that logo in an intro video. So let me show you what it looks like when you're creating a logo. You have access over here to changing all the background colors, so you can make them clear, or you can make them pretty much whatever you want. We're gonna go ahead and make this black again. There we go. We can change all of the logos over here on the side. We can add other logos down here. You can see I turned it off, but we can re-add it. We can change the color if we want. You can actually add graphics. You can move any of this stuff around. You can change the fonts and the colors and all of that stuff. It's really simple to set these up. All you have to do is go into logos and choose the kind of style of logo that you might want. So they have all different kinds. Let's go with an educational one. And we'll go with photographers right here. And you can get a look at what these logos look like. And there's 2 different pages for these particular ones. We'll go in here. And it's really easy to modify this. So if I wanted to change it to my personal colors, I can go like that. I can go over here and modify this so that they are my personal colors. And there we go. And we can change this right here. So it is light blue, and we can go and change any of the text that we want as well. You can see it'll change the size of the text depending upon how much there is. We could add another graphic. We could take this text, make it bigger or smaller, whatever we want to do. And then when we're finished, we can save this out and it will become a logo. Once we have those logos, what we can do is download them. And then we can go in here and create an intro video. So intros and slideshows is what I like to use. And then I'll go through here and look for any one that uses a logo. It doesn't really matter. We could pick any one. I think I've actually done this one before. This is a piece that I used on my live stream. And you'll see down here there's actually a musical selection that will go along with it. All we have to do is take our image here, and let's see if I can find any of these. Let's see, let's do this one right here, and then we just crop the logo in. Sometimes you have to go into the logos and change the colors so they work properly with the video that you're trying to use. You can add different slides to these videos to make them longer or shorter. It takes a couple seconds for the preview to load. You can select your playback speed so that if you want it longer or shorter, you can do that. Really simple stuff. So now it has created our logo intro video, and what we're going to do is go ahead and take a look at this. So there you go. At this point, you can choose to download it or go up here. You can actually go in and replace the music if it's not what you like. They have all different sorts of music here. We can go with something like this. So you can change any one of those out. You just click select, it will load it in here. Then you play the slide again. If you like what you see, you can just click download, it will download, and now you have that intro video. I've also used this to create banners and that sort of stuff. All of that is available up here on the top. So logos, banners, intro videos, all of that stuff I use Envato Placeit. What an absolutely awesome tool. Now it's time for us to explore animated text that we can use to create lower thirds or add to our edited content. On today's Edit Your Stream, I want to add animated text to your editing toolbox. We're going to use DaVinci Resolve for this. DaVinci Resolve is a totally free, full-featured editing software. There are links in the description so you can download it and check it out for yourself. So let me show you how easy it is to add that animated text. Here we are in DaVinci Resolve, and believe it or not, this is not very difficult. It's pretty easy. We're going to go and select Effects, and we're going to go to our toolbox, and we can just select Titles. And if we go all the way up to the top, we have Text Plus and we have Basic Text. We can scroll text, we can do lower thirds, that sort of stuff. What we're going to do in this case is select Text Plus. I'm just going to put it right up here and show you some of the features for it. So we've got a custom title. We can just put, wow, that just happened. All right. So now we have that in there. We can scroll down here and change our font to whatever we like. If we have fonts loaded on the computer, they are automatically going to be in there, so you'll be able to select them. We can change up our color. We can change the size of our text. Tracking spaces out the letters. Line spacing, if you created a second line, it will change that up. We can left justify, right justify, all of that kind of fun stuff. We can have our text right on. So if you see this right here, well, bada bing. So we've got two dots, the beginning and the end, and now we can write our text on like this if we want. Well, what if we wanted to just write the text on? Well, we go to the beginning of our text piece right here, and we click this little recording dot there, and we go all the way out maybe to the midpoint of our text, and we go ahead and adjust that. And now if we go back to the beginning of our text and we click play, our text will type itself on there. You could just get yourself like a typewriter sound and play that down here, and bada bing, you will have all of the audio that you need. There's also advanced controls so that you can have the actual text appear or disappear on screen from directions and that sort of stuff. So many different things that you can do. You can change your layouts. You can actually adjust the rotation of the text so that it will rotate like that. You can actually animate that if you like. You can change your background colors and all kinds of other stuff. You can modify the transform and rotate it and change the size. So let's say that we wanted to add a rotation to this while our text is writing on, or maybe after our text is writing on. So we go to where the text is finished. We're going to go ahead and click this button right here, and that sets a keyframe, and then we want to go basically to the end or near the end and maybe rotate the text all the way around 360 degrees. So what we'll do is we'll just go ahead and rotate this 360 degrees, and that adds that second keyframe. So now we've animated our text in two different ways. We just click the play button, it writes our text on there. Now it rotates our text, bada bing. we've got some really, really cool, and of course we can take this text, make it longer or shorter, however we want to do it. It's so easy to manipulate and add fun little text animations. That took like 30 seconds to add 2 different animations to this text. If you play around with this, you're going to find hundreds of cool ways to animate text to put in your videos to make them more fun and interesting. So easy, and it looks absolutely awesome. Today's OBS trick is going to help you to add countdowns to your live streams. On today's streaming tricks, I'm going to show you how to add a countdown timer to your live stream really easy. So let's get to it! This is just one of the countdown timers you'll find if you go into scripts. You can search countdown. I chose this one because it's kind of intuitive. It's going to drop the actual end numbers so that you're only going to get the minutes and seconds, and then you're only going to get the seconds once the minutes drop off. And I kind of like that. But there are a whole bunch of different scripts that you can download that are countdown timers, and they're all going to load up and work basically the same. So this is the OBS Lao Countdown Adaptive Timer 1.0, and I click the download button. You can see it's a Countdown Adaptive Time LAU file, or LUA file. And once that's downloaded on our system, we just flip over into OBS, and I have a background loaded where I want my countdown timer to show up. So I'm just going to go up to Tools and then Scripts, and I'm going to click the plus button, and I'm just going to go to my Downloads folder where I just put that script I downloaded. I'm going to select it and click Open, and there we go. Now our countdown timer is loaded up, but you can see that we need a text source. It has a duration, a start text, a final text, and a reset button. That's all there is to this script. So let's add our text. I'm going to click the plus here. I'm going to go to Text GDI, and I'm just going to name this Countdown, and I'm going to click OK, and I'm just going to click OK here. We're not even going to really put it in there. The next thing I'm going to do is go over into my scripts again, and I'm going to put in the text source. Now keep in mind that this is case sensitive, so since I spelled countdown with a capital C, I'm going to have to spell it with a capital C over here as well. And once I type that in, you can see our countdown timer shows up. Currently it's only 5 seconds. So I'm just going to modify this. We'll put 100 seconds on the clock. Now the start text with the colon obviously puts in the time after the colon, so just keep that in mind. And you can modify this text. And the reason why I like this particular countdown timer is because you'll see here when the minutes are finished counting down, it'll automatically truncate and go just to the seconds. And there you go. So now we just have seconds in there. So that's kind of nice. So let's close this up for a second, and I'm going to go and just move this into the center. I'm going to right click on Countdown and go to Properties, and obviously this works like any other text, so I can select a font and click OK, and any of the other text features that are normal I can put in here. So I can add a gradient, and I can just go in here and select the color. We'll try this yellow color here and click OK, and now you can see we added a gradient to our font. And you can mess around with that. There's all kinds of cool stuff you can do with the text features. And once it's done counting down, you can see it gives that final message, live now. So let's go back into scripts, and you can obviously adjust the duration and the text. So let's say you were doing video games or something like that. You can use this for a video game timer. Let's say you're doing a speed run, and you can put your start text, speed run, and your seconds up there. And when your final text comes in, it can say, I didn't make it, or whatever. You can also use this countdown timer for a be right back scene. So you can type be right back, and then your final text could be, I'm late, or something like that. You can move these around, obviously, and resize them just using the little red buttons on the corners. And resize it with the corners, move it around, and I'll just change the end text here to I'm late, and we'll change this duration to seconds so you can see what that does. And here we go. And once the countdown timer is completely finished, it will say I'm late. Now you can get countdown timers that will actually do something similar, but instead of moving on to different text, it will automatically switch you over to another scene or something like that. So all you have to do is go and check out the different countdown timers they have. You can download the ones you want. They're all going to work basically exactly the same as this one. Obviously, there's a link in the description to this countdown timer, so you can go ahead and click down below if you want to check this one out. Super easy. Thanks for joining me on this week's Stream on the Edge. I hope you learned some new things. Please let me know in the comments what you think of this sort of stuff and what you want me to teach you next week. And if you're always looking for tools, tips, and tricks to help make you a better live streamer or YouTuber, subscribe to the channel. My name is Michael Feyrer Jr. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.